Hard work doesn't pay off. And if you're in your 30s, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It used to be that education was the gateway to financial success. That's no longer the case. The average 30-something-year-old can't afford to buy a house. They have little to no savings, and 30 to 50% of their income is going towards paying off debts. It used to be that if you were employed at a decent job in your 30s, you could afford to live alone. Now, more and more young adults in their 30s still living at home with their parents. Something as simple as procreation, which is necessary for the existence of the human race, is now viewed as a luxury. In fact, the more children you have, the more you are judged. On paper, we did everything right. We went to good schools, we got our degrees, got our diplomas, we got hired at decent companies, but we're still poor. And guess what? Our parents who had matric certificates, got into the police force, were able to buy houses. Our parents who were middle class but were still kind of struggling are richer than us with our polished English, our fancy degrees, in our high-rise offices. Isn't that just wild?
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the cost of living crisis from around the world. I've put together a compilation of a bunch of videos from here in South Africa to the United States, to Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Before we get too carried away, I want you to remember what the chick in the first video that's from South Africa said. She said that young people are still living with their parents, young people can't afford homes, young people don't have jobs, and they don't have the same level of opportunities that their parents had a couple of generations ago. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into it.
I really can't afford a house right now. That's what you get for buying all that avocado toast at Starbucks. I don't eat avocado toast or drink coffee. Well, you should have gone to school to get a better job. I have a master's degree and a six-figure paying job. Okay, well, no one said you had to go to college. Okay, you're getting an apprenticeship. Now you're in all that student loan debt. I worked my way through college and I have no student loan debt. Then if you don't have any money, it's because you're not saving it correctly. Most of my capital is in investments, cryptos, and savings. I spend less than 10% of the money I get, as most of it either goes to rent or savings. I'm worth $250 million, and I can't buy a house. It's because you like socialism. Fuck you.
The cost of living in Canada is sick. There is no more cost of living. There is only cost of surviving. My girlfriend and I met for coffees the other day, and she owes a little bit of money to the government, and she was crying to me, saying, I don't know what to do. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm a single mother. Like, I can't afford to live here anymore. So she had a call with the CRA, and the CRA ripped her apart. They said, it is unacceptable that you have not maxed out your credit cards to pay us. It is not acceptable that you are paying $1,000 a month in groceries for yourself and your 3 children. You need to cut back. So she said to them, you're telling me that you want me to take the food from my children's mouth to pay your greedy ass when it's your fault that fucking groceries are astronomically priced right now. We are all in this together. We are all suffering together. The cost of living is killing people. Families are falling apart. People don't get to see their children because they have to work 2, 3, 4 jobs. I need to let people know that there's another way, because this isn't going to get better. Watch what's going to happen in the housing market this year. Watch the price of groceries. Watch the price of gas. Like, we're not getting relief. This is not going away. So how are you going to get on top of it? What are you going to do to make sure that you and your family can survive? Fuck surviving. What are you going to do so that you and your family can thrive?
What I find most fascinating is people can get onto social media and unapologetically say, fuck corporate, fuck whatever company that you're working for. They don't care about you. And if you ever were sick, they'll replace you within a week, etc., blah, blah, blah. But we don't ever say the same thing about the entire system. It's not by chance that someone in buttfuck middle of nowhere, Africa, is saying the same thing as someone in first world Canada, first world United States. I mean, it's a systemic issue that needs to be dismantled. And I know saying those words in that particular sequence makes you think of some blue-haired feminist on some college campus somewhere, but this is an actual matter of life and death. And the sooner we realize it, the sooner we'll act upon it. My question then becomes, when does the revolution start? Once we've reached critical mass, when does the revolution start? When do we start asking those in the corridors of power what the hell they've done and why they've essentially shat on us to this extent?
You guys, the recession is knocking on our doors. Whatever you do, save your money. Do not let these influencers trick you. It is about to be historic. Stop overspending. You do not need to book that trip. You don't need to buy that lip combo. You probably deserve it, but please, whatever you do, save your money right now. I will be your Black Bradley on a budget. I need to do better myself, but please.
Okay, so the moment I knew that things were worse than any of us realize is the day I started seeing people do grocery hauls. Previously, people going shopping and unpacking their groceries on social media was the reserve of chefs, at-home cooks, fitness girlies doing their tracking of their calories. Once I started seeing normal creators unpacking groceries on social media, that's when it clicked, like, oh crap, we are in a season and an era of heightened food insecurity. You're seeing people unboxing fruits and vegetables as if they are unboxing a pair of Gucci shoes. Alarm bells were going off. People were unpacking their grocery bags and itemizing the billing for bread, spinach, milk, and meat. And people were asking them, how much did you spend? How much is this? And having debates in the comment section about the cost of groceries and the cost of meat. That's when I knew food insecurity for the middle class and the working class is a real thing. People are spending their precious Wi-Fi and data bundles watching other people unpack groceries. This is the marker of looking at these things as aspirational. Now we're in the territory where someone doing a weekly grocery haul is treated as an aspirational content segment. That gave me pause.
People should buy less Costa coffees and go on less holidays and not go out for dinner so often, and then they'll be able to pay the electricity bill, which, you know, I said it tongue-in-cheek a little bit, but to be fair, that is probably partly true. I mean, the ones who are really struggling aren't doing any of those things, and I do accept that. But I mean, there's a lot of people out there who, in the old days, people would save money. Now it's very hard to save money. It's not fashionable to save money.
Yeah, sure, Boomer. It's because of a couple of coffees here and there or avocado on toast why people can't afford a mortgage. Get the fuck out of here. Shut your whole ass up. He's speaking from such a point of privilege that his privilege is nearly unrecognizable to him. He grew up in one of the easiest coasting ages in human history, where the accumulation of wealth was a given. Nowadays, it's a dog-eat-dog world. I feel sorry for our brothers and sisters over in the UK. But looking at that guy, I immediately think of the Hunger Games and the Capitol. He's so unconcerned about the well-being of humanity, and he so easily brushes it off like it means nothing that, man, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. And I just don't think people are pissed off about it enough, to the point where a man can get in front of a microphone and a camera and say that kind of shit and suffer zero repercussions from the common man. That's crazy to me.
Bro, how is anyone affording to actually live in the UK? How are you managing financially? Council tax, insurance tax, income tax, capital gains tax, NHS tax. Bro, you just have a million taxes, and then they're gonna start charging tax on the tax that you pay so you can later pay more tax. Bro, I can't fathom it. How are people surviving in the UK, let alone thriving, when you just got constant payments you gotta make? And bear in mind, that's excluding your standard like rent and your bills and your food and what you need for actual survival. It's like, bro, we're all paying this extortionate amount of money for what? For the services that are terrible. I can't even go see my GP within a 3-week period if I wanted to. And then this is our standard weather where it's just great. It's like, bro, thank God. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful that I'm in a position financially where where I can afford to maintain all these ridiculous payments that I gotta be making. But it's like, bro, for the average working class person, bro, I feel for you, because how are you surviving, bro? I'd generally be out here on the streets with the regular 9 to 5 income, like struggling to even eat if it was all of these expenses stacking up and I had a regular wage. I don't even know what I'm spending money on. But yeah, right now it's looking really appealing. Like, I really understand why people are just selling everything they have and moving to Asia, because it's just less stress. You're not getting threatened from HMRC and random institutions every other week for payments that you didn't know you had to make. It's like, bro, like, I'm actually sick and tired of it. Like, I'm one bill away from just getting rid of this apartment, selling my car, and just going to Asia, because, like, bro, I've had enough.
I'm in Coles right now, and I want to show you something. This is why people are struggling. Yep, $11 for 500 grams of fruit salad. That's why we can't survive at the moment.
$11 for a container of fruit salad. The worst part about this whole situation is this: food becomes so expensive to the point that you can't afford it. And then you start having health issues because you aren't eating healthily. And then because you can't eat healthily, you can no longer work effectively. And because you can no longer work effectively, you can no longer pay for the things that sustain life, that enable you to function on the ground level of planet Earth. It's so messed up, so messed up. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the common trope, the World Economic Forum, you'll own nothing and be happy. At this point, I'm starting to think that you won't even be able to own health either, because at the rate that food costs, a simple bowl of fruit, $11. Get the fuck out of here. Crazy.
The cost of living in New Zealand is actually fucked, cunt. Check this out. $37, bro. Okay, this is fucked. One block of cheese costs $18, bro. Actually fucked, bro. I've got to sell my kidney for a block of cheese. Like, my missus is gluten-free, so we gotta buy gluten-free bread. $6.50 can for one loaf of bread. If you have dietary requirements, that shit is way more expensive than the rest anyway. It doesn't make sense. Sorry, babe, you want Cocoa Pops? We're gonna have to sell photos of your feet. Countdown, or Woolworths now, are making like $4 million profit a week off of us. I know there's gonna be a handful of you guys who are gonna say like, oh, you know, the cost of living is not a thing. Just work more hours. It's like, that's not really the point that I'm trying to get at. It's like day-to-day living expenses are way too fucking expensive. This is purely why I've gone out and tried to create myself a second income. It's so hard to get ahead.
On to the last video. This one I want to tie in with the very first one at the beginning of this video of that South African chick saying, Millennials and Gen Z, we don't live the same quality of life as our parents did. There's nothing that encapsulates this quite like what she's about to say right now.
My parents are retired public school teachers. They're like younger boomers and have been teachers their whole lives. I want you to think about what life looks like for a household of 2 public school teachers with 2 kids today. Like, what does their house look like? What's their finances look like? Because this was my parents' situation. As 2 public school teachers, this is where I grew up, on a lake with a boat, like a 3-bedroom house. Not like a super fancy house, but a 3-bedroom house. There are currently 2 houses for sale on this lake. One is $530,000 and the other is $1.2 million. On the lake my parents moved onto in the 90s as 2 public school teachers with 2 children. They never had side hustles, they never had summer jobs, they had summers off. They were 2 public school teachers, and this is what that afforded them. My fiance and I now make combined what my parents made when I was like in high school, like decades into their teaching careers. Our apartment, when it rains on the outside, it rains on the inside. It's like enraging and unfathomable thinking about the world that people older than us got to live in, because no one ever gets to live like this with normal jobs ever again.
And there you have it. That's the current state of the world right now. What a beautiful home on the side of a lake, looking good, looking suave. You can kick back with the homies or your family or whoever and have a grand old time. But that sort of life is so out of reach for us millennials and Gen Zers that, like she said in the video, I don't think we'll ever be able to live that kind of life ever again. Unless, of course, there's a major economic downturn and this whole motherfucker goes to shit. But yeah, don't hold your breath. All right, guys, that's it for me for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What's the cost of living like in your country? Has inflation run away? Are you able to afford a normal, regular middle-class life? What are you doing to overcome the challenges that are being experienced around the world when it comes to the cost of living? Oh, just a quick bit of housekeeping. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you that are rocking with the channel. I can see the numbers are looking promising, and yeah, let's continue on growing. Let's work together, and I'll keep pumping out the videos and you guys keep watching. Thank you so much. If you'd like to support this channel financially, I've left a buy me a coffee link in the description down below. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Don't forget to hit the like button because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let's run these numbers up so we can reach my goal of 1,000 subs. Thanks for watching. Peace.